Hello class, I welcome you all to this session. This class is going to be about finance cost, um, whether these items are related to finance cost or not. Okay, so finance cost is a item in your P&L account. If you can see your P&L account, you have a line item called as finance cost. Okay, so I'm just showing you the P&L account where it has been in your textbook. So if you can see here, we will just have a recap. Expenses, under expenses you have the cost of material consumed, purchase of stock in trade, changes in inventories of finished goods, work in progress and stock in trade, employee benefit expenses, as well as you have the finance cost. So under this line item, what are the expenses that is going to come? So we have other things like depreciation and amortization expenses and other expenses. So we will understand what is this finance cost first of all. Before going into the problem, we will just understand what is finance cost. Finance cost is nothing but, see, it's given very clearly here. Finance cost means cost incurred by the company on the borrowing loan taken by it. It therefore includes interest paid on borrowings such as term loans, bank overdraft and cash credit limits. So it is the interest paid on borrowings. So if we can understand, it is the interest paid on borrowings. Okay, the banks and others, so you have this from banks and other sectors, say public deposits or debentures or bonds, whatever it is. If you are paying interest on these elements, then it is called as finance cost. So finance cost also includes expense incurred for the borrowings such as loan processing fees, discount on issue of debentures, premium payable on redemption of debentures, etc., as these expenses are incurred by the company for borrowings. Okay, so borrowings cost mattum illama you have other costs, interest cost plus the loan processing fees. Say for example, if you are taking a loan from SBI at the rate of 7% interest, for you're taking 1 lakh. Okay, processing, they will, SBI bank will be charging some processing fees also. Processing fees, they are charging, say for example, rupees 1000 from you. You have to pay interest for the loan 7% into 1 lakh. Okay, 7000 you need to pay. On top of that, when you're taking this loan, you need to pay this process fees also, so which is a part of finance cost. Okay, so what is the total finance cost in this scenario? The total finance cost is 8000, being 1 lakh into 7%, which is 7000, plus the processing fees. So total finance cost in this example that I have given you is 8000. Like this we need to understand. See, discount on issue of debenture, when we are getting debentures we have to pay the debenture holders interest. On top of that, if we are issuing the debenture at discount, what do you mean by that? If the face value of debenture is 100, if we are issuing it at issue at 90, then 10 rupees will be the discount. What this 10 rupees is called as the finance cost. Say for example, we are issuing 10,000 debentures, so 10,000 into 10, so 1 lakh is a discount on issue of debentures. That will be also a finance cost. Now premium payable on redemption of debentures, usually when you are redeeming the debentures, what generally it will be done is, let us take an example here. If we are having 100 rupees worth, this is an independent case, don't connect with this is a total different. When we are issuing at discount, that's a different thing. whatever I am trying to discuss here is a different scenario. 100 rupees, you are 100 rupees per one debenture you are issuing, okay, and by the end of 5 years, you have to repay say 110. The 10 rupees that you have to repay extra to the face value is called premium payable on redemption of debentures. Redemption means what? Repayment. Okay, so this 10 rupees extra that you are paying will be included in the finance cost. Okay, as these expenses are incurred by the company for borrowing. So if you want to borrow, you are incurring some cost towards the borrowing, then it will be called as finance cost. Now please note, however, bank charges, this is very important, bank charges are not shown under finance cost but are shown under other expenses, as they being an expenses for service availed from the bank. So bank charges will not come under finance cost. Why? Because you are availing some services. Say for example, you need some asset management tips from the bank, or you need some DD to be taken, for which the bank has charged something, so that is called as bank charge. So those charges, you are not taking any loan from the bank for which they are charging this, you are taking the service of the bank, so they are charging you bank charge, the bank is charging you the bank charge. So obviously this should not be shown under the finance cost, so always keep in mind. Okay, so let us solve this sum right now. So out of the following information, identify the items that are shown in the notes to accounts on finance cost. Okay, so interest paid on borrowings from Prince Finance Limited. Interest paid on borrowings, yes, it is a finance cost. FC, yes, it is a finance cost, it will come under finance cost. Interest paid on term loan to bank. Interest paid on term loan to bank, yes, interest on loan, it is a finance cost. Then interest paid on public deposit, yes, what is public deposit? When company needs some money, it doesn't want to issue debentures, it do not want to issue equity shares, the other mode to get money from the public is public deposit. Okay, so public deposit, like we are depositing in the bank, we will be depositing in the company, the limited company deposit, for which the company will be paying us interest. So that is interest paid on public deposit, so it is a finance cost. Loss on issue of debentures written off. Now what is this loss on issue of debentures? Now they are meaning discount on issue of debentures, discount on issue of debentures, they are meaning that. So will that come under written off? Yes, whether it is written off or not, is it a finance cost? Yes, it is a finance cost. Bank charges, is it a finance cost? No, it is not a finance cost, it is a charge by bank for rendering services to its customers. Okay, so how will you write this? You have to write notes to accounts, you have to put a heading as finance cost, you need to write from 1 to fully. Okay, when you are writing your answers, fully you need to write, don't write because of space constraint, I am just taking it here. So you need to write 4 points here, put the total of finance cost and conclude the sum. I am sure that this is clear to you. I am not going to write it here, you have to write it in your classwork. Okay, yes, moving to the next. Depreciation and amortization expenses. Now what is depreciation, what is amortization. You have to be very clear in this. Depreciation is related with fixed expenses, fixed assets. Okay, depreciation is related with what? Fixed assets. The reduction in value, if it is depreciation, then reduction in the value of fixed assets. Amortization is nothing but reduction in the value of intangible assets. Okay, so amortization, you know very well, it is a reduction in the value of intangible assets. Okay, so from the following information of Best Marketing Limited, for the year ended 31st March 2016, prepare notes to accounts on depreciation and amortization expenses. Now, what are all the depreciation accounts? We need to write it. Note to account. Number 1. How will you write it actually? So you need to have here the heading, you need to give as depreciation and amortization expenses. Under A, depreciation, you have building. How much is the depreciation? It is 15,500. Plant and machinery, 25,000. Computer, 60,000. So total, you need to take it to the outer column. Amortization, as we know, amortization is the reduction in the value of intangible assets like goodwill, patents. So we are writing goodwill, patents. Okay, how much is goodwill? 7,500. And patents amortized is, written off is 12,500. Now amortized is otherwise called as written off. 60, 70, 80, 90, 1,05,000, 1,05,000. Here it is 20,000. Okay, so you will show it together in the total. So you will write total amount to be shown in the P&L. Shown in P&L statement. Okay, so 1,20,500 should be the amount that needs to be shown in the P&L. Okay, the next sum. So next sum we are going to discuss about other expenses. Okay, before discussing what is there in the problem, we will just have one understanding, just an understanding about what is other expenses. Okay, expenses that are not shown in the above 6 entries that are discussed in the P&L are called as other expenses. Say you do not include other expenses in cost of material consumed, or changes in the inventories, or depreciation and amortization, or finance cost, or employee benefit expenses. You cannot include these expenses in any other head in the P&L. Okay, so you just include that in the other expenses. The details of expenses shown under other expenses is given in the notes to accounts. It should be kept in mind that expenses shown as other expenses in the notes to accounts on other expenses may be shown as direct expenses. This point is very, very important. It can be direct expenses or it can be indirect expenses. As of you know that there is no concept of trading and P&L account. Both the accounts are merged into one statement called as the P&L statement of P&L. So you need to be very cautious here. It can be a direct expenses, it can come under other expenses. It can be an indirect expenses that come under other expenses. What is direct expenses? Directly attributable to the production of a particular product. Indirect expenses are not directly related to the production of product. Some of the example here, for example, carriage inward. If you want to bring your raw materials into the factory, then that will be directly attributable to the production. But carriage outward, after you finish the product, that is after you have manufactured the product, the finished goods is taken out of your factory premises for it has to be sold. Okay, so for selling that you are incurring carriage outward. So this carriage inward is a direct expenses, carriage outward is an indirect expenses. Okay, so carriage inward is a direct expenses and carriage outward is an indirect expenses. Imaginary amounts is being given here, so we'll just have a look at it. So carriage inward, selling and marketing expenses, administrative expenses, telephone expenses, electricity expenses, rent, sundry expenses, all these amounts are just an example for other expenses. Okay, at this point total expenses are known. Total expenses are deducted from total revenue. Okay, after this this will be the last item in your P&L statement. So after you're finding this, you will add the entire expenses, the chunk of expenses that you are having, and you will actually show what is your total revenue. Your total revenue minus your total expenses will be shown as profit before tax. If you deduct tax, then obviously you will show what is profit after tax. So we will, by this knowledge, we will discuss this subject, this sum. Identify which of the following items will be shown in the notes to accounts on other expenses. Is salary and other expenses? No, it is employee benefit expenses. Postage expenses, yes, it is other expenses. Telephone and internet, yes, other expenses. I'm just denoting OE. Rent for warehouse, it is an other expenses, yes. Carriage inward, yes, other expenses. Depreciation, it should be shown under depreciation and amortization line item. So this item will not be shown under these two items will not be shown under other expenses. Computer software amortized, again depreciation and amortization, it will not be entered in other expenses. Then you have computer hiring charge. Now computer hiring charge is an other expenses. Because it cannot be shown under any other expenses in the line item of the P&L, cannot be shown anywhere else. Audit fees, audit fees is a other expenses. Bonus, what is bonus? Bonus is employee benefit expenses, so it will not be shown under other expenses. So I'm sure that you are able to understand these questions. We are going to stop with this. Next session will be the miscellaneous problems, including both P&L item as well as the balance sheet item, and one full-fledged problem we will be doing in the next class. Thank you class, keep practicing.